Oh yeah, welcome to another AUSHAMMER episode. My name's Brinley, and he's my co-host Ryan.
Hey, take two.
Mate, take two. We had some technical difficulties on our last episode. For those of you joined in, I apologize for my insistent waffling, but we were just trying to delay time to see if we could get the technical side up and running. It didn't really want to work for us. It was a bit disappointing, but look, we're back here now. No change. We're not going to skip anything. We're just going to go back to the start, back
That's
to
it.
talking about exactly what we're doing. About man, where were we? Where were we? What were we talking
We
about
just
when?
finished saying hello to everybody, and then you were about to jump into the news, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was asking about how many people we have live with us.
We had like a dozen, I think, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was we were doing something, but yeah. All right, so let's just quickly recap here. Um, so how many people we got live with us? Just want to
People
shout
are
out to
just
everyone.
joining up now.
Big
So
big
just,
shout out to everyone who's
yeah.
joining in for the second time. Thank you for your persistence. It's definitely really appreciated. We here at AUSHAMMER we're occasionally plagued by the technical gremlins of life, or
Oh, it's okay.
um,
I'll own up. I'm really
or,
hungover, and I probably pushed the wrong button, and I'm sorry.
or hangover, or Ryan just dick fingering things as per usual. But
I've got fat fingers, all right? The
fucking
one
oath he
button is
does.
close to the escape button, and me, I don't know.
Tell them why you're getting someone else to assemble your skeleton warriors.
Because I'm a skillless, useless, lazy, fat old bastard. And thank you, Jono. Loved you, mate.
Yeah, Jono is putting his skeletons together. Big shout out to Jono. Good on you, mate. Someone's got to help Ryan with his life.
Thanks, man. Because you're on as well.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh goodness.
So what's been going on, man? What's news?
All right. So, what's been new with me? So I think. So grab those pictures that we threw up your way, and hopefully we don't crash the whole system again.
Oh, okay, give me 1 second. What's this
Oh
for?
yeah. All right. So I just kind of redid my hobby area for those people who have never seen my hobby area before, which is probably a lot of
Oh
people
yeah,
on the
here we
internet.
go.
This is
Yeah,
what it looks
let's
like.
let's let's do that. Hang on.
Inception, the Hoboception. Oh, here we go.
Inception.
For Inception. There we go. So that's my hobby station. I've got my own light arch. Just I didn't change much other than just kind of sorted everything so it looked like less like a pile of random miniatures and paint and tears and sadness, and resembled something closer to a hobby desk. And I stuck some posters up behind, so that was pretty fun.
What's
Um,
what's in the box on the right hand side on those drawers?
oh yeah, all right. So this is some of the stuff I've been working through. So I managed to finish up Adjudicator Squad for Age of Sigma for Stormcast, and they were really fun to paint. And so I've just been kind of toying around with my chaos for a bit. And one of the things that I've been building is this Demon Prince that was it was a Forge World Demon Prince of Corn, but it was missing a leg. So I kind of had to convert it up a little bit. I've got a if you can you bring it up? Can you bring up the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go.
Oh, it is this guy here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's looking pretty cool.
So yeah, so as you can see, there's like a dude on a spike down the bottom. There's like a he's being summoned. I kind of try to do it to look like he's being summoned out of a rock. I don't know. I mean, when you're missing a leg, you kind of got to like make do with what you got. I don't know. I think it's looking pretty good. I didn't assemble him in the same way as all the other Forge World ones. I missed off a couple of spiky bits, and I kind of just wanted to make it a bit different. So I'll give him a different paint job, and I tried to remove as much corn detail as I could. Just wanted to make him look like he was like a undivided prince to go with my Slaves of Darkness. So
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know. I think it's gonna
Well,
look good when it's painted. I've
do
got to
you
get
want
around
do you
it.
want to see what I've been up to?
Yeah, man. You show
All
me what
right.
you got.
Okay. All right. So I've got this squad of judicators. They're right here.
Yeah, fuck off. There they are.
um,
Oh, they are too. Look at that.
and I've been clearly slaving over them for a long time now.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, I didn't know you could zoom in on that. That's awesome.
yeah, man. Technology. But anyway, no, seriously, I haven't been doing anything. You've been painting my stuff for me because I'm a talentless goof.
Ah, you're right.
Nice hobby space, though, dude. Hey, is
Yeah,
that
man.
is that what I think it is?
Is that a can of Chaos Black that?
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that I go through it like a million miles an hour.
Is that because you're like spraying an entire Stormcast army that I threw at you from my car and then drove off
Yeah.
really quickly? Yeah, okay.
Spray paint it for me.
I regret nothing.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah, that's been me. I've been doing a little bit of work on my own Slaves of Darkness army. I've kind of just been playing around with the paint color that I sort of wanted. I think I kind of got what I wanted in the end. I'm still not sure, but like it's got white armor and it's gold and it's kind of like got some nice cool earthy tones. I kind of wanted to go for a different take on Chaos Undivided without going down the traditional road of like the bronzes and the blacks and the reds, because I feel that's a little overdone. And I
where's
don't
that
think.
picture? Should we show that picture?
Yeah, man. Yeah, throw it up. And I
Yeah.
just
Give
feel
me a
like
sec.
the rest of I just feel like that scheme's really overdone.
You're really overdone.
Grinception.
Oh,
Oh
oh.
yeah.
Are you
Yeah, there
sure?
we
Like,
go.
I'm just. Can I be a bit of an assholish devil's advocate for a second?
Yeah, man. I'd
Are
love to
you
hear your input.
are you sure it doesn't just look like an angry stormtrooper on Shark Week?
Yeah, man. Oh, that's such a cool idea. Stormtrooper army. That's a great idea. No, I like it. I'm keeping that now. I've got
It,
Stormtrooper Slaves to Darkness.
this is how I imagine, and I apologize in advance for any of our international viewers who have no idea who I'm talking about. But if Ned Kelly was like in the Middle Ages, I reckon that's what he would have worn. Like that helmet, make that out of a shovel and bucket any day.
Just
That looks
running
cool,
around with
dude.
like a mad axe.
No, it looks good. It's getting there, that's for sure. I see you fix up the boot from when I saw it last. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks less retarded. I just gave it a bit of a quick dry brush.
What's that on his forehead? Is there a little skeleton on his forehead?
It's like a little skull. It's like these
Man,
tiny
that's
little
sick.
details.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
noticed that. That's really cool.
I really love the Chaos Warrior models. Like
Yeah.
when I first started a Chaos Warrior army way back in like, oh shit, like 2011 or something. Yeah, they really, uh, I really thought they were really good. That
Well,
was one of the first things that brought me back. But now I'm here now, back again doing Slaves of Darkness.
I have
So,
some more news too.
oh, what did you buy? Oh, buddy.
Okay, so I didn't buy it.
All right.
Okay. So it was club day yesterday, and I had a game 1250 odd points with a gentleman named Aaron from club, and it was my free peoples versus free guild, whatever we're calling them these days, versus his Sylvaneth, and it's my first time ever playing against him, and they look so freaking cool, man. Like I didn't think they'd look that cool um, on the tabletop. They're actually really cool minis, and he was doing all sorts of crazy stuff like making it harder for me to hit him and regrowing wounds and bringing people back to life and all sorts of crazy shit. And I was like, fuck, that's mean. So I asked a few questions, right? I was like, oh, tell me about your army and all that sort of thing to try and learn a bit about it because well, it was just really cool. And anyway, he taught me a lot, and it was a really cool game. And thank you, mate. It was just an awesome game. They're ruthless on the board, man. Like, it's going to be good fun learning how to play them. But anyway, then another guy from Club, David, contacted me, and he's like, "Oh, I heard you were trying to find out more about Sylvaneth, and you might want to play them." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, they're awesome." And he just goes, "Oh, I've got a spare getting started box and a battle tome. Here you go." And he's just like, yeah.
So a spare getting started box and
yeah. So I'm like, "Sweet, dude, thank you." That's plastic I don't have. So good side, really nice of him, and he's just given me this Sylvaneth to put together and play around with, and that's great. Bad news, now I have another army that I need to fill out.
That you need to paint.
That I need to paint.
Oh yeah, no, my bad. That I need to paint. We won't tell anyone.
So but the reason that's really cool as well is that's pretty awesome of people in the community to be like, oh yeah, here's all the information about this army, and most of that he gave me before I even played him. So that kind of helped. But and then somebody else is just like, oh yeah, I heard that you're into that. Here, have some. Like, that's awesome, man. Right? Thank you to those two people. There should be more like them.
That is absolutely outstanding. That sort of attitude is exactly what we exemplify here as part of the community. And like, just shout out to you lads. That's amazing. Like, I mean, giving Ryan free crack, that's a big step. But giving free crack in general and advice, and just really showing a sense of community.
Yeah. Oh, it was just and as far as Aaron goes, who the guy that from club that I was playing against, he showed really good sportsmanship and openly telling me everything that I wanted to know at any time. He was like, yeah, this is that, and that's probably just because he's a far better player than me. But yeah, it was pretty good, man. Pretty awesome. So shout out to Aaron for helping me out with that, and also shout out to David, obviously, for being so generous. That's really nice of you. Also, hello to James Irvine.
Oh yeah,
and Scott as well.
Hey Scotty,
who are just chilling out, talking shit in chat.
Are they talking smack about hobos in the chat again?
Oh, they're just talking about Brim Shady.
Yeah, Brim Shady.
Yeah,
please stand up.
Yeah, fucking beanie. But yeah, so that's my hobby stuff, man. That's you've got all the rest of my hobby stuff. So
yeah, man. Well, yeah. I mean, what can I mean, it keeps me busy. It keeps me hobbying, so I'm pretty happy.
Sweet. What's did we go over the events?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like I did before, but we've got more events to go over today. All right. So up to events. All right. So for Warhammer Mount Cravat, on the 2nd of October, we've got a Royal Ride conversion competition. It's a conversion competition. It's going to be held at Mount Cravat. It should be a good day. It's a great store. The guys there are pretty chilled. If you're into converting, definitely get down to there. Then on the 7th of October, we have Tiny Hammer. It's a really great time. This is a 40K event. Really good chance to get your armies out, to check them out. You don't need to paint heaps because it's a smaller force, as in, so Tiny Hammer, tiny force. I think it's going to be under 1,000 points. It should be really exciting. I've been to a few for 7th edition. I enjoyed it. Other people enjoyed it as well. It usually has a really good turnout, decent prize pool. For those of you who are competitive, if not, it's a great day to come and hang out and spend with your homies. Then at Warhammer Chermside on the 28th of October, we've got Age of Sigmar armies on parade. And then on the 4th of November, we've got 40K armies on parade. There is nothing I like seeing better than a fully painted, based, and just tiled army with a wicked background to go with it. There's it's the pinnacle of the hobby. It looks amazing. Kudos to people who can paint an entire army and base them up and make them look absolutely amazing. For those of you who are in the local area, definitely get your armies into it, get them out there, submit them. I'd love to see a local Australian lad or even a local Brisbane boy or girl win this competition and get their stuff up on White Dwarf. I know there's some talented painters out there. Get your stuff up there. Don't be shy. You're not gonna, you know, you can't. Worst that happens is you fail, but you still got a painted army. I mean, you're still winning. You're still winning. You just don't, you just don't have a prize. Yep. I'd be pretty psyched with that. Okay, so then up north, we've got the Queensland Northern Nights on the 4th of November. We've got a Hamel and Sickle event. It's a 2-person bolt action event. We plugged it last time. I don't play bolt action. Do you play much bolt action, Ryan?
Is that AOS?
Yeah, no. So it's like World War II sort of wargaming. It's really cool. I've seen a few miniatures. They look amazing. So if you're into that, go check out them. Then at the Warrior Lodge on the 12th of November, we've got an Age of Sigmar event, which is going to kick off. Ryan, you went to an Age of Sigmar event this weekend, just gone?
Yeah. Dude, Age of Sigmar's the shit. I love it.
Absolutely fantastic. And I hear Warrior Lodge is branching out. They're doing a 40K event as well, so I can get my Tau out. Oh,
branching out. Man, those guys have got so many 40K players. They're like falling out the windows.
Fuck yeah.
So that's going to be 40K. Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So are you taking your fish commie space people?
Yeah, I'm going to take my communist fish people. They're gonna come and get all weeboed on everything, and
I might come just to watch. I can hobby and shit at the same time. Plus, there's beers at the same time. So
yeah, exactly. And they've got like a kid friendly area, so you can bring your kids.
A brewski.
Oh, free brewski.
Yeah, I took both my 2 eldest kids there on Sunday.
That's really good. Do they enjoy it?
They were just chilling out on the PlayStation.
Just hanging out doing it. Man, that's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome.
It's all right. So down south, we've got down near Melbourne, we've got the Men's Open 2017 Melbourne Premier 8th edition gaming event. So this is a 40K event hosted by the Men's Gaming Group.
Is that down in Melbourne?
Yeah, mate, down in Melbourne.
Good group shout out to the brothers and sisters down in Melbourne.
Oh yeah, for those of you who are from Melbourne who are listening, hit us up. Definitely tell us more about your events. It's kind of hard actually trying to find events around Australia. So if you guys have an event that you want plugged, feel free to message us. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on YouTube. Probably just message Ryan on his personal phone number that I'll leave in the comments at the end of the night.
Dude, my laptop's touchscreen and I accidentally just minimized everything. Sorry.
Oh no, this is what happened last time.
I just learned something new.
This is why we can't have nice things. Then down in Sydney, we've got an Age of Sigmar event called the Coalition of Filth. It's on the 21st of October, and it's down in St. Peter's, Sydney. Hit them up. Just punch into Facebook Coalition of Filth. It sounds really terrible, but I'm pretty sure it's held by someone down that way. It should be good if you're down there.
I wonder if they're calling it that because everybody down there plays like awesome cheese armies that I would just love to get my hands on.
Yeah, you and your whack brothers.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in Sydney as well though. That's really cool. Man. We've got stuff going on everywhere.
Yeah, dude, it's huge. I haven't even got to the biggest event. We've got CanCon in Canberra. So the Canberra Convention. And not only is it going to be hosting a massive Age of Sigmar event, but it's going to be hosting the 40K ITC Australian Championships for 40K.
Damn.
So that's really massive for those of you who are really competitive. Definitely go there and check it out. If you're down that way, hit it up. For those of you who are competitive, this is like a go-to event. This is a ranked event for the ITC. So if you're ever been curious about your placement and like making other people salty, this is definitely the place to go.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few people there that I know of as well. Like I know Doom and Darkness is going. I think he's taken a couple of guys from Adelaide as well. And there's been a few casts on the Doom and Darkness channel about the armies that they're putting together for it. It looks like it's going to be sick. I wish I could go.
He's got a terrifying mind for putting an army together. I'm actually really keen to see what he brings to the table for that event.
Oh, I've seen it. It's deadly. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, if he's listening, he should definitely hit us up. And,
yeah, just some insider knowledge. Just rock up outside CanCon and be like, "Hey, does anybody want to know what his army is? Does anybody want?"
I don't want to. We just sell his army list. We won't do that to you, buddy. We promise. We're not, we're Queenslanders, but we're not barbarians.
Or would we?
Or would we?
Yeah, get to CanCon for sure.
Yeah, so CanCon, and they're holding a shitload of other events. Like they're doing Age of Sigmar tournament. They're doing the big 40K tournament I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure they've got Infinity running. They've got Bold Action. They've got if you can think of it, and it's a tabletop war game, they're probably going to have it, and it's going to be absolutely massive.
Just maybe not 9th edition.
Yeah, just maybe not 9th edition.
Too soon. Sorry. Moving on. All right.
Yeah, Ryan's going to get into that when.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
For his stuff, yeah, that's a bit of a sore point.
Not for me.
Not for you. Also, okay, so back up this way for one of the cool events that I'm going to be attending at Irresistible Force in Tanamera on the 14th of October. We've got the Reconnaissance of Kerr. Okay, so Reconnaissance of Kerr is a border patrol scouting style tournament designed to test your skills in charge of specialized forces. 500-point army, so it's really, really tiny. I'm going to be taking my Tau. I can't to see what everyone else is bringing.
How many? 500 points. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So do you have a max on like your HQ and stuff?
Yeah, so on your HQ, you've got a maximum of 5 wounds. You can only have 1 unless you're like a Tyranid. They've kind of got, in the players pack, they've got exceptions to it, but this is the general stuff. You've got a minimum of 1 troop, maximum of 15 troops in a squad, so you can't take like massive 50 squad, conscript groups of guardsmen.
So you're not just going to be fire warriors for days?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I talked to the tournament organizer, actually said, it's like, look, I'm just going to bring 48 fire warriors, and they're just like, no, don't do that. That's silly. Put some thought into it. Actually, bring something decent.
You just rock up. You just rock up on the day with all those fire warriors. You just get punched in the face at the door.
Yeah, like you'll be. It's a pretty dirty list. Like they're like fire warriors are humble, but there's a lot of them. You don't want to be versing that many fire warriors in such a small army. So no 2+ armor save or 3+ invo saves. So that also includes war gear. So you got to consider that. You got a maximum of 1 vehicle with less than 10 wounds, which is like Elder. That's a Viper. If it's Tau, it's a Piran. It's just basically small vehicles, land speeders, bikes. There's not a lot you can take. Most things have more than 10 wounds.
So Troy Hayes says can't take 20 poxwalkers.
Yeah, you can't take 20 poxwalkers. None of that crap. That's insane.
Yeah, and David, who we mentioned earlier, has just said that I better paint those dryads 3-color dry brush like a pro. And Troy's talking up the Hellbrute. So
yeah, good old Hellbrute. Don't taking Hellbrutes. Crazy stuff. All right, so the main aim of the tournament is to have a friendly, enjoyable time rolling dice in an amazing store, amazing terrain, and the best people. I'm not going to lie, they have some really cool terrain there. And the staff there are just brilliant. I've been there a few times. I'm not paid to say this. This is just my personal opinion. I enjoy going to that store. It's a big hike for me, and I try to make a day of it. I love it.
Are you sure you don't get paid for it? Are you sure you're not just hiding like wads of 20s inside that ugly fucking beanie?
No, there's nothing in there. I swear. There's just painting skill and awesomeness.
Talk yourself up, Sonny. Jeez.
Yeah, boy, Bryn Shady in the house. any questions, feel free to contact Irresistible Force page or Michael Edwards, good friend of mine, on his Facebook. All right, so that kind of just brings us,
Mikey, you fucking legend.
yeah, you fucking legend. So that kind of brings us to the end of like the good news. Unfortunately, we've got no events from Warhammer Capalaba because as of literally less than 24 hours ago, the store suffered an internal fire, and it's been completely gutted. It's going to be closed until further notice.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah, as a community, this is a pretty big blow to our local area. Like we've only got 3 Warhammer stores in Brisbane, and for Capalaba that actually opened up. That's the newest to be opened, and it was a really big hub. It's a big hub for a lot of people, and our thoughts go out
it's up here on the north side, eh?
Yeah, and those people, our thoughts go out to those people who have been affected by this. To you local gamers down in the local area, hang in there, guys. And to Blake, the manager of that area, big shout out. We're thinking of you, buddy. We're just grateful that no one got hurt. Yeah, man, it's a tragedy for the community. Hopefully hear more about it, and you know, with any luck, the store will be reopened in no time. It was a good store. I enjoyed that. I've been there a few times. Staff were great, people were great. It was a great environment. It was a big center. It was a big center. I actually wish that they had built it when I actually lived down that area. It would have been. I would probably have spent a lot more time down at that store. But yeah. Anyway, so that's the news, good and bad, events and otherwise.
Yeah.
So basically, so we're on to news. Do you have anything else to add? Anything else exciting that's happened your way? Anything else to plug? Any events?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I do. So, all right. So, I'm having a lot of trouble trying to get my armies finished, right? Like built, painted, and on a table. And that's really sucky. So I wanted to use this opportunity to call out to everybody else who's listening or watching right now. How do you finish what you start, and how do you make sure that you get it all done before you move on to the next army? Because I've got a really nasty habit of just
starting a new army, maybe.
Shut up, fuck you. Yes. So I did actually want to do a shout out and see if anybody might be able to offer some assistance, drop a comment, or in chat right now even, or on the Facebook page, Facebook chat, anything like that. The other thing was something I've always taken for granted is G-Dub stores. So a lot of people actually do go to other stores, hobbies places and things like that that sell whatever paints and all that. But I always go to the G-Dub store at Chermside because it's between home and work. And I've noticed that I literally walk in, and you know how you give me those shitty lists of paints that you need?
Oh, yeah.
So I can't even pronounce half that crap, right? So I just like blurt out a bunch of random gibberish names. And the staff there are like, oh yeah, that's this is blank. And like I'll walk out of there with like 9, 15, 20 pots of paint in like 30 seconds. They're so fun. Yeah. They're really good. So I just wanted to encourage people to get to a GW store because it is different. It is better. And I enjoy it. That is my personal opinion. And you should take it because I'm fucking awesome. Other than that, Doom and Darkness did a unlocking Iron Jaws with Mitch, MC1 Gamer.
How good is that? Oh man,
it makes me want to buy it, which is why I need people to tell me why I shouldn't, because otherwise I'm going to try and start an Iron Jaws army.
Don't do it. I'll have to paint it.
Yeah, it's really good. Check it out. And he's also done something recently. Doom has on Ninth Age. So recently, Ninth Age appears to have suffered from internal and external political issues. That is awesome, Brindley, for everyone to see. Thank you. So it appears like something's gone on, and I don't play Ninth Age. The only thing I know is that the guys that play it really like it and really don't like Age of Sigmar. I think something happened. I don't know. I came in at the start of Age of Sigmar. Before that, all I was the hobby side of like books and audiobooks and art and shit like that. So I never played the tabletop game until Age of Sigmar came out. I just read like all the Horus Heresy books and stuff. But it turns out that there was a Ninth Age after eighth finished and went to AOS, but a whole bunch of people didn't like AOS or want AOS, so they were like, oh, we're going to create our own Ninth Age with blackjack and hookers and whatnot. And it was really good, and people loved it, and that scene was there. And the only thing I know of Ninth Age players that they hate AOS, and they just call it Age of Shitmar and all that sort of stuff. So now I think there's like a whole bunch of angry people out there. I think they're not allowed. I think Ninth Age was dropped from like Adepticon and some other stuff. I don't know. So I think it sounds like it's falling apart, the Ninth Age stuff. And then like YouTube, there's videos everywhere of like all these Ninth Age guys going, oh, fuck everything, fuck the world, oh, fuck Age of Shitmar, Warhammer, Adepticon, Ninth Age is the shiznizzle and blah, blah. And then there's just a whole bunch of Age of Sigmar people right here that just don't really give a shit. But to anybody who plays Ninth Age and doesn't play Age of Sigmar, you're more than welcome to come and try Age of Sigmar. Yeah. All right. So apparently there's a bunch of salty Ninth Ages out there. What do? There's not much you can do about it. So yeah, that was my news really. I just wanted to point out MC1 Gamers new unlocking on Iron Jaws, really, really good. Go and watch it. If you want to have a laugh, Doom and Darkness's Shit and Talk, that was really good as well.
That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fucking great. And then of course, Warhammer Weekly guys put out theirs again as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just come out, which is really good. And I've been catching up with Paul Conti a little bit. He's started his Stormcast army, and it's looking really good. So I'm waiting to see some videos on that, which would be really good, because believe it or not, despite the fact that they're the poster boys of AOS, you don't see much content on them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool too. But you had a 40K drop as well, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, before we get into that, didn't we have because last week we were talking about people to send their photos in of their miniatures. Do you want to do that? 40K. Okay. So last week, for those of you who weren't here, we actually got we asked people to send in pictures of their first miniature or their worst painted miniature, and some of you guys actually did, which is really cool. So we're actually gonna have a look through them. Ryan's gonna do the whole Brinception, and we're gonna have a look at some of these really cool pictures.
Okay, here we go.
We apologize if we can't remember who actually presented this stuff. All right, so let's
start.
Yeah, let's have a look at this one. All right, so what we have here is a Chaos Terminator. As you can see, all paint's being applied in 2 thin coats. For a first model, like this isn't bad at all. This is great.
No, actually, can I just point out that this is far better than after I've painted like I don't even know how many models myself. This is still better than probably what I can do. So.
Yeah, this is probably better than like my 50th model, and it's like probably someone's first model. It's not bad. It's got a bit of blood on it, which is pretty cool. I can definitely appreciate that.
I like this. I like the terrain. I like the base.
I like the base too. The base is pretty cool. All Silver Skull, fucking Necrons. God, I hate these guys.
Oh, dude, Jamie from our club started a Necron army, and it's
Oh,
beast. It's beast. I love it. I just like passing the table every now and then when he's having a game and watching him bring shit back.
I'm just watching them cry.
Okay, so then there was this bad boy here.
Oh yeah, the Chad Marine. I can't. Oh man, I cannot remember who sent this. This isn't, this isn't terribly painted at all. This is actually fucking brilliant. This is probably one of the favorite submissions that I've seen this week. This is just
Is it just me, or does he look like the 40K rendition of Johnny Bravo?
yeah, he's like it's got like the full hammer and the person's actually gone to the effort of drilling out the barrel and the bolt pistol. I'm not mad. Oh, quick! There's another picture. There we go. He's got ouch on this.
Is it ouch, or is there a D around the corner?
No, I think it's ouch.
Okay.
No, I think it's ouch. Anyway, like whoever did this, great job. Terrible color scheme, but perfectly executed.
Yeah, red and green should not be seen unless there's something in between.
Yeah, in this case, it's a Chad hammer. So
That's sick.
I mean, I love it. All right, where have we got? What we got going on?
Oh,
No, that's mine. Oh no! Okay, so everyone, so this is my first miniature that I ever painted. This was the diligent 3-hour effort of 12-year-old me after being. Be quiet. There we go. Google's trying to tell me what to do.
Don't tell me how to live my life, Google.
Don't live my life. Stop trying to search for random stuff. Yeah, so this was 3 hours of 12-year-old me trying to paint a Bretonian drummer that my cousin had given me for like a sympathy present because he saw me wistfully looking at his beautifully painted Bretonian army, and yeah, like let's be honest, I've probably seen my 3-year-old son finger paint to a higher quality. So anyway, anyone can paint. It just takes practice. That's the moral of this story.
Can I just so you and I, we will never ever ever talk down about anybody's painting, right?
Except for our own.
Except for our own, because that one, it's just disrespectful, and two, the likelihood is that they're better than us anyway. But we do enjoy an open, honest conversation between ourselves on our paintwork, and I do enjoy the freedom of giving you as much shit as possible. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to remind you that I've had after grog bogs that looked better than that paint job. In fact, in that dude's right hand, I'm pretty sure he is holding over his head one of my after grog bogs.
He's literally just smacking that drum with 2 toes. That's all he's got. That's all he's got going at the moment.
But how old are you, son? You were only a teenager.
12.
Oh, yeah, dude, I can't give shit then. That's not fair. All right, what else have we got here? Hey, that's pretty good.
I don't see people send us miniatures and they're just like, oh yeah, this is terrible. Dude, that's freaking cool.
Look at it.
Like I would have killed being able to paint that. He's got the weathering.
Okay. So an army of those on the table, hell yes, man. That's good work. Whoever's that is awesome. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, man. Like Astra Militarum.
Yeah.
Days.
I'm taking it that's not Age of Sigmar.
No, unfortunately, it's not. Yeah.
I think there's actually another one of that here somewhere too, but I can't see it.
Yeah, I think we got a second picture up here somewhere.
Oh yeah. Who's this bad boy?
Yeah. So that is Mangus Calgar. He is an old Space Marine model of Chapter Master of the Ultramarines. Like I'm gonna be honest, like paint's a tiny bit thick, but hell, it's still better than like what we just saw of mine.
I think he would benefit from a wash on the face.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I like the base. Like he's got like I don't know if that's a custom base or if that's how it comes. It looks it looks pretty good. I don't know. I think that looks. Yeah, man. Like, if that was your first one, I would love to see what you've done recently.
Yeah,
Like, they would look really kind of
same
cool.
bloody one.
Yeah, same guy again. And
Okay, I have to
I
point
put.
this out. What the hell
Oh
is
yeah.
that? That's
All right.
you.
So, this is the stuff I did with Scotty today. So Scotty came around. He made this really really crazy, like full on. Um, Basically, it's a Helldrake, which is a big 40k chaos dragon, mechanical dragon. He made basically a proxy Helldrake, and he brought it to me. He's like, "Man, I want to spray paint it. I mean, I want to use an airbrush on it, but I'm not really sure where to start." And I'm just like, "Yeah, man, just come over. We'll smash it out." We were going to do it a couple of days ago, but like both of us just got busy being family men and everything getting in between, as 40k usually happens. And yeah, we just sat down for a couple of hours this afternoon while my son ran around and destroyed everything. And we did the wings and we did the body. Got a bit of purple on it. I think
You've got
Scotty
a bit of
really
shading
liked
going
it.
on there.
Yeah, man, a bit of zenithal highlighting. Big shout out to Paulie, who actually taught me how to use an airbrush and clean it properly.
And
So
just
that was a
just
big,
so Zenith will highlight everything
yeah, man.
before
It
you
looks
paint it.
looks amazing, absolutely amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, oh man, it looks so good in person. It looks so fresh. Like I'm really proud of it. I really like it. I can't wait to see Scotty finish it. And
Yeah. And then there's that shit heap of a stormtrooper.
and then
I don't
then
know
there's
who I don't know whose that is, but they can't paint for shit. They're a
and then there's
terrible
my
human
medieval
being.
stormtrooper. I'm gonna have an army of them. I'm gonna have like a group of 40 of them running around. It's gonna be
Dude,
insane.
that's actually going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, man. All with
You get
Halberd.
really sick of seeing the same paint schemes over and over and over.
Yeah. I just couldn't do it. I've done one Chaos Warrior army where everything was bronze and black and grey and brushed silver and it was crap, and I want something else, and I think this is gonna be what's gonna keep me going.
You're still going to do his
So,
chainmail bit here, like silver though, yeah,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
belt buckle and all of that, and the leather there, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got 40 of them. I'm probably not gonna spend too much time on detail. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You lazy bastard.
Yeah, I know. This you want armies painted, not golden demon entries. This
Fair
is
enough. Fair
yeah.
enough.
I just like if it looks good, get it on the table,
Yeah,
smash it out. Like
yeah, for sure.
it's done. It's not perfect. That's a big thing when it comes to my painting. Otherwise, I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there for days trying to get models out, and it's just frustrating. I can't do it. Um, I just don't want to have to deal with that sort of crap all the time.
Boo hoo.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad.
First world problems.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's another first world problem. I finished my cup of tea.
I know. I finished mine as well. This cut's freaking huge. Look at it. Or maybe I've got tiny hands. I don't know. It's
Why?
big.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, did you want to talk
40k
about your
news.
40k thingy?
Yeah, boy. All right. So
This is where I go to sleep, yeah?
yeah. All right. So big news for 40k. All right. So a couple of new releases like we talked about last week. We've got the Death Guard drops that are happening next week. So that's going to be the Tallyman, Typhus, that big tank thing that's just spewing stuff everywhere. That's going to be disgusting to look at. But even bigger news, we've got the Astra Militarum that are dropping, and it's rumored to drop around the 7th or 8th of October. So that's like in a week's time. Like that is next week. And the most exciting thing about this is that they've been releasing reviews and previews of the codex, like for the last week, of like regiments that they're going to be redoing and they're going to be bringing back. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Astra Militarum, or those of you who are just coming back from some weird 40k hiatus, the Astra Militarum are the Imperial Guard. They've just been rebranded with a new name, but it's the same. It's the same army, same models, and the coolest thing about this set is that they've been releasing updated rules and like little snippets for stuff for the individual regiments and the individual units that they're coming from, which is massive. Like in the regimental focus, they've been doing everything from Cadians to Valhallans to Steel Legion, and they've been releasing like individual rules that finally start to reflect how each of the individual regiments and each of the worlds and their units start to play out. And I was actually really curious to see if this was going to happen after they did like the individual forges for the Adeptus for Mechanicus and the Skitarii and all them when they did that. So wait, Adeptus Mechanicus? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's them. They were a big release. I'm just like, oh man, I wonder if they'll, because I kind of knew that the Imperial Guard, they were coming up pretty close, and I was really keen to see if they were going to release it with individual worlds, and we were actually going to see some really cool individual rules tailored especially for individual armies. And we have like that's what they're bringing out, and that's huge. My first 40k army was Elder, but my second 40k army was Imperial Guard, and I went all the way with that. I did a massive platoon with tanks, command squad, everything. It was called the 301st Cadian Airborne, and I had like Valkyries coming out the wazoo. Vendettas was an amazing thing. And so Imperial Guard, they hold a pretty close place to my heart. They're still not as cherished as my Tau, but it was Imperial Guard that first got me into 40k. I think I remember being like a easily impressionable 10-year-old down at my local library with my grandpa, and I picked up this White Dwarf book, not knowing what it was at the time, not knowing the addiction and the years of painting and pain and sticking my fingers together that would follow. And I was going through it, and I opened it, and there was this amazing cover of of Catachans holding a defensive position against a whole bunch of Tyranids, and it was amazing. I'm actually still trying to find that picture so I can show people the thing that got me into it. I'm just slowly going through an archive of White Dwarf to hopefully find it. Maybe it's all in my head. I don't know. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. But for me, they've got a really big, a really soft spot for me. I love seeing them. It was pretty heartbreaking with the last couple of editions to see them slowly fall by the wayside, where they were just getting stomped by Riptide Fury and Jetbike Spam. But now with 8th edition being released, they seem to be making an absolute massive comeback. They are now a tier 1 army, and I'm so happy to see it. There are a couple of Imperial Guard players out there, and you guys must be absolutely rejoicing, especially at the fact that this new codex is coming out. It's going to be an absolute game changer. And so I don't know, the new list, it's gonna be insane. Like, they've changed it up. They've made it more fluffy, which is the big thing. They haven't just given them like the blanket rules of just like, oh yeah, everything can reroll 1, or you get like a crazy 2+ save because blah 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 blah. Now they've actually created rules for each regiment that really reflect what is actually in the spirit of the regiment. They're releasing a whole bunch of them. I'm sure some of you have seen the snippets of the new regiments that are being released, like the Cavalier Chem Dogs. That goes way back to way back to like 5th edition Imperial Guard, where it was just like a random release, and they've got actual modeled figures, and they show you how to convert it up online. It looks really cool for those people. It's going to be an amazing conversion job. But I want to speak about the regiment that's closest to my heart, and that's the Catachans, or basically the Australians of the 40k universe. These guys are hard as nails, absolutely crazy, bicep, tree killing, death world eating mofos that absolutely just decimate everything. They're such a cool army. There's nothing I don't love about Catachans. They're just so cool.
What the hell's a Catachan?
So it's an Imperial Guard regiment. Look it up.
Nah.
They're basically the Australians of the 40k universe. Australia. Anyway, one of the cool things that they're getting is that the Catachans, they're getting brutal strength, which means that all Catachans now have a +1 to strength, which is about time, because those biceps are absolutely huge. If you spent your entire life surviving a death world, you want to have a +1 to strength. It's what you need to do. And another really big boost to them is being able to re-roll a random D6 on your weapons. It's pretty exciting. Who's talking smack in the chat?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, whatever.
Hey. No. Scott's just noticing how your 40k blabbering bores the sigma out of me.
Oh, diddums. You just have to.
It's not fair. It's not fair. You 40k guys get all the new stuff.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, let's not get into that argument.
You got new releases. Yeah, anyway, like the vehicles can reroll a D6 if it's a random D6. It's pretty good. But the other really cool unit, the other cool rule that I love listening about is the vicious traps, which kind of just reflects that these guys are absolutely crazy. And they just throw traps around everywhere. They are the masters of the jungle. They will wreck you. They will crocodile Dundee your shit up every which way. The use of the stratagem.
You call that a bolter?
You call that a bolter? Call that a bicep. This is a bicep. Have you seen them? The friggin' knives on them. It's like basically Crocodile Dundee.
I see you played Knife and Spoony before.
Oh, I love these guys. Yeah, so the stratagem allows any unit that moves within 1 inch of a Catachan, finishing a charge within 1 inch of a Catachan unit in your army is wholly within a terrain feature. Roll a dice on a 4+ at enemy using it. Suddenly suffers 3d6 mortal wounds. So, which is pretty crazy. Oh wait, no, I read that wrong. It suffers D3 mortal wounds, but still, that's insane. That's punishing people for getting up close. I love it.
Is this the same army that has all those big tanks?
They've all got big tanks. These are the ones that are like the jungle fighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I've got some 40k books and codexes and stuff here somewhere.
In our live feed before the show, we should just like go over what I'm talking about, so you're not so confused.
No, because then what will happen is the cast will start. I'll be asleep, and you'll be doing it by yourself.
Oh no! All right. Anyway, so that's some of the big news for 40k. It's going to be really brilliant. I can't wait to see the codex drop.
Yeah.
I am on the fence about thinking about whether or not I should start.
Well, everything I was actually reading about it online earlier today and yesterday, and it's just a whole bunch of hype around it. It sounds like, I don't know too much about it, but it sounds like this army's been needing a bit of love for a while, and now it's like, bang, here's some love, and everyone's just like, yeah, it's pretty sick. Good. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to get some?
Yeah, man. I'm thinking about it. Hey, if I
get those big tanks, I just want to see the big tanks.
Big tanks. They were so cool. I had so many tanks in my last army, and they were amazing.
Let's do it.
Tanks.
Let's do it.
We'll just start a conjoined Imperial Guard army.
Right, I'm pretty good with that. We could do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, and then I could learn how to play 40k, and then we could post videos of my real shitty games as I just table flip on you constantly.
Yeah, we can call it the AUSHAMMER Imperial Guard army.
Wait, what the fuck is an armor save? Table flip. Yeah.
What do you mean I can't do that with my tank?
Yeah. What do you mean I can't shoot into combat? Fuck.
This is bullshit. Right. Well, look, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it for 40k news at the moment. The other thing I want to plug is basically get onto that Citadel painting app. Check that shit. That is really cool.
I've got that on my phone. It's pretty cool.
I love it.
It says they're going to add to it again soon too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
pretty cool. All right. So do you want to move on with our feature?
Yeah, man. Why not? We're only an hour in already.
Oh man, this is good. This is good news for people who are
hobbying.
All
the hobbies.
Man, this is going to be a big podcast, but that's good. That's what we want. We want lots of talk and shit, so people can listen to us ramble on about random crap while they're doing hobby. So while we're sitting here talking, they can listen and do their thing, which is, I mean, if you're listening to this right now, good on you. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. Check us out. It's going to be pretty exciting.
All right, well, let's do it.
Yeah, right. So what are we doing? What's tonight's feature? What are we doing, man?
So recently, well, since we started pushing out this the cast and everything, you and I have both had quite a few people come up to us saying, "Oh, what do you reckon my next army should be?" Or, "Oh, I've got the basics down now. Yeah, sweet. What do you reckon? Should I do this? Should I start that army?" You know, and you've got it on 40k ends. I've been getting it on AOS ends, and
Yeah, there's like even today, someone was asking what army should I start for Age of Sigmar, just on the chat, and it's
the answer is and always will be,
I don't know.
free guild.
Yeah, well, just get a bunch of OP models and just run around with them,
bro.
But yeah, it's a big topic. Like, it's a big topic when you think about it.
The Warhammer Weekly guys did something earlier on last week, this week, on the best and worst armies to suggest to a newbie.
So definitely check that out after you've listened to us ramble on, because we're just gonna talk to you guys about how to go about the best way to go about choosing an army.
Correct. Yeah, because there's more to it than just I'll go onto a forum and ask the question, what is the best army, and see what comes up. Because there may be one specific army that's won the last 3 GTs or something like that, doesn't mean it's the best army for you or your play style or your personality, or
Yeah.
So there's a lot to
it. One doesn't mean it's going to be heaps of fun for you, man. It's
Yeah, I mean, likelihood is that if that's the only reason that you're picking it, unless you're literally only in it to win it, then you're not going to have a good time.
All right. So, holy shit. So we'll just assume that the person, like, you've already decided what system you want to do. So be it Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar or 9th edition.
No, not 9th edition. It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, or like Warhammer or any other small games. Basically, building and choosing an army is as complicated as you want it to be. You can go to the bells and whistles and like print out friggin' stat sheets on like price comparisons or whatever, or you can literally just go up to your mate and be like, "Oi, let me borrow your army. I want to have a play."
Yeah.
It can be as simple as that. You've just gone black.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Are you standing up? You're standing up, aren't you?
Yeah, I was just turning my fan on. There you go.
Right, good. All right, cool. Yeah. So
what? Yes, of course I've got pants on.
Of course he's got pants on. We've all got pants on.
We're all wearing pants.
We're all wearing pants. So it's as complicated as you want to make it. So one of the big tips is try and avoid becoming overwhelmed. Like, one of the beautiful things about this hobby is that it is so incredibly immersive. We are a part of one of the biggest hobbies there is. There are games out on your hobby. There are books. You've got the gaming systems themselves. So, like, even if you just stay within the Games Workshop bracket, it is absolutely huge. There's probably not a single way that you cannot find something that you will enjoy Games Workshop wise. I mean, like, between Total War and Vermintide, like the boost,
which I've been playing a massive amount of recently.
Yeah. I came over the other night and I played Vermintide, and for someone who has like 0 hand-eye coordination and doesn't actually play video games, this was really, really cool. That was an amazing game.
Yeah, apparently it's been out for ages, and apparently there's like a TBA on a Vermintide too. But I'd never played it until recently, and it's fucking awesome. So.
Oh man, it's such a cool game. I really enjoy it. But that's like one of the ways that people fall into this hobby. They play a game, or like on computer, Total War, Vermintide. They've started playing an app like Freeblade, or they've actually seen their mates play, or who knows, maybe they're listening to this podcast and they've accidentally clicked on this or they were looking for like, you know, um,
Total
something
War
else.
Warhammer 2 cheats, which
Yeah,
just
Total War
came out
2.
as well and is amazing, by the way.
Yeah. So you can get your mods on with that. Um, but yeah, it's really easy to become overwhelmed. So let's say you've suddenly come from playing Total War and you're like, oh, I really want to play his army, or you're playing Dawn of War 2 or any of
Yeah.
the 40k spin-offs. And you're sitting there and you're becoming really, really overwhelmed by what army to choose. And like, let's be honest, there is a lot of choice. You go into the Games Workshop website, and like, I don't usually pay them out, but it doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if you haven't been there before, because like you're probably looking for, it's like, yeah, I really want to play those chaos horse dudes, and I can guarantee you, if you type that in, it's just going to have a bad time.
Yeah, it's like if you just go, oh yeah, I want to play the Space Marines, and
Yeah.
then the website's like, okay, you have 316 different options. Which kind of Space Marine would you like to start with?
Yeah, which space marine do you want to do? And
Yeah,
like, and it's a big thing. Like, yeah, it can get really complicated really quickly. But some of an easy way that we found to kind of determine to help work out what armies that we want to do, and I've done this for a couple of mine as well, is that you kind of just take a step back and you kind of look at what are you interested in doing? Like, this is a miniature wargaming game. What gets you going more? Do you like the hobby, the painting side, or is it the gaming side? Like, that's a really cool place to start.
yeah.
And
Well, what was it that got you into it in the first place?
all right, so yeah, so like ages ago, so as I alluded to before, my first exposure to 40k was when I was a young wee lad, and I just picked
You're
up a
still
white
a young
dwarf.
wee lad, you little bastard. What do you
Young
want
wee
to do?
lad, shut up, old man. um, and I just picked up a white dwarf, and I found I saw it was basically a centerfold of catachans repelling an attack at a jungle base, and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. This is so cool. People paint these, and these are dudes with red bandanas and massive biceps and guns. And 9-year-old me, this was just like, this is what I want to aspire to. This is what I
Yeah,
want to be. I have found my new spirit animal. And
yeah.
from there, like, obviously, I found out my cousins did it, and they played Warhammer Fantasy. They actually played Mordheim. And so my first army ended up being not 40k, but fantasy. I actually started a Bretonian army to start with, because my
Oh
cousin had
shit.
a Bretonian warband, and I thought that was really cool. And knights and grails, and I fell in love with the lore. I am definitely more in for it for the hobby and the painting and
Yeah.
the background and the lore, and that's how I fell into it. I just became immersed in the world. What about you, man? How did you
So
first choose an army?
that well, okay. So um, I read the first maybe like 10, 10 to 15 Horus Heresy books. And I can't remember where I picked the first one up from. I just came across this one. And then I just was like, wow, that's a really cool book. Shit's going to get messed up. And I read a whole bunch more of them. And then one day I decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to try out the game. So I went onto some Facebook page thing, and I was looking around, and a dude named Isaac said, "Hey, we're a local gaming club. Noticed that you're in the area. Did you want to come and check out the game and see if you like it?" So I went over there and watched them play a game, and I actually ended up with some Space Marines and stuff. So I actually started out at 40k. I tried a game of 40k and went, "What is this shit? It's so difficult and over complex and not what I thought it would be. This isn't how it went in the books." And that's when I stumbled across AOS. And the guys, they were like, "Oh yeah, well maybe you like AOS then." And I did. It was really cool. And I had a few games, and then I scored. What was it? I scored the it was the starter box of Corn and Stormcast for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, my missus got it for me. So I was really stoked about that. Yeah, man.
that's nice.
And then that was my first army. Was when AOS first came out, and oh, dude, that was me. I was hooked as. And
Yeah.
then I went. I remember going, oh, I need some bad guys. So then I started Nurgle, and then I was talking to another mate, Jono, who's like, oh, I was selling some of my free guild stuff, and the douchebag didn't bloody send the money, so he's not getting the minis or something. I was like, oh, dude, that sucks. I'll buy them off you. That look kind of cool. And then like a year later or something, now I've got like 300 free guild guys, and now I've started that Death Army, and now Sylvaneth, and it's just carried on from there. So it was just this sort of like snowball effect that really got me into it.
Definitely.
And
Definitely
I've gone through different stages of how to pick armies and stuff like that, and play testing and things. So yeah,
it's pretty. And it's like I think everyone's got like a tale how they kind of picked up their first army, and it's
no doubt.
such a hard concept to convey in an unbiased way to someone who's just like, what army should I start?
Yeah.
Who's automatically like, yeah, you should go Tau, and you're like, oh, I'm playing Age of Sigmar, and you're like, no, you should just play 40k and go Tau. Yeah, just try and bring.
There would be so many communist fish out there if that was the case.
There were a lot of communist fish. There's less of us now that 8th edition's here, and we're not as good as we were. But that's another rant for another day.
Oh, I'd love to hear that rant.
But yeah, I think one of the cool ways to work out what sort of army that's really good for you is to work out. So to bring it back and work out what sort of a hobbyist that you are, like what gets you into the hobby, and how do you what do you enjoy most about playing? Like, what do you enjoy most about spending your time? How do you spend those precious hours that you have for yourself, and how do you like spending them? Especially for your hobby. All right, so I've got 3 types of people who do our hobby. So it's kind of broad, but it's okay to have a bit of a mishmash of people. So look, the first one is the power gamer. We all know this person. They're here to win. They love playing competitively. They're all about researching that meta and working out what is a tier 1 army. Like I know people who have definitely since 8th edition 40Ks stepped out. They've taken a step back and they've been like, they've waited for the first couple of tournaments to roll through to see which was going to be tier 1, and then they've just thrown money at that army because I mean, like, people like to win. People like to win, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think Grey Knights are tier 1 at the moment, and that's not just because I'm trying to sell mine.
There's no external motivation there at all.
Just shameless self promotion there.
Yeah, just throw a link for your eBay in the sidebar. Just throw it up here somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody buy it.
Somebody buy my Grey Knights.
So, you know, these power gamers, they've done their research on forums. They're the big problem with this is, like, it's not. I don't think it's super sustainable. Meta changes all the time. It's not really my style. But look, hell, if you have the money to throw at this hobby where you can field tier 1, fully painted armies every single year, then my God, go for it. Like, there's nothing better than seeing a tier 1 army out there and absolutely smashing it. It's definitely happened before. I was fortunate enough in 7th edition to be owning a Tau army towards the end of it, and like Tau was pretty up there along with the Elder players. Definitely enjoyed a pretty decent easy streak. It's not why I got into it, but I can definitely see the appeal of owning that tier 1 army that absolutely just wrecks face every now and then. So if you're that sort of person, mate, kudos to you. Get on your forums, do your research, get your meta going. You'll have a tier 1 army in no time. Get ready to throw dollary dudes every which way. If you got that much money, throw some at us. Who knows? We'll give you useless advice by the bucket load.
We accept donations from Power Gamers.
We accept donations from Power Gamers. We also accept your salty tears when your army doesn't do so well in the next year.
Yeah, well, once a new edition drops and your army falls to shit.
Once a new edition drops and suddenly you're shit. Which is what happens. Like it happens across all systems. 40k is not immune to it. Age of Sigmar is sure as hell not immune to it.
Nope.
You will, stuff just gets rickety wrecked every single day, which is why I don't find being a power gamer a super sustainable way to do your hobby. But you know, some people do it.
Different folks.
Yeah, mate. Different strokes for different folks. I'm not going to judge. All right. The next sort of hobbyist that I tend to come across when they're choosing an army is the strategist. All right. So this person has already pretty familiar with the gaming system. They understand their style of play, and they've played a few games to see how they're going. So this is a really well thought out way for picking an army. You've done a couple of test matches with your mates. You sat down, you picked up an army. Like your mate might be playing a game, and you had a couple of games with them just to see how they play. Done a bit of research. Your army might not be top meta, but it suits how you play, and that's what you want. So let's say you're a person who loves throwing lots of spells. You've just got a Tzeentch army, which is absolutely amazing. So this is how I got into my Slaves to Darkness army. Always had a bit of a soft spot for them for Age of Sigmar, and I actually got my first box of miniatures in a trade with another person. I got them real cheap, and this crazy dude called Ryan invited me around for a game of Age of Sigmar. I'm just like, oh shit, I don't actually have an Age of Sigmar army, but I've got this box of Chaos miniatures, and like I'll just bring it. We'll throw it down on the table. I'm just hell keen to roll some dice.
Can we just on that? That was an awesome night, right?
That was a good night.
Because I remember that. I'll always remember that night as the night of bowls. Forever known.
Oh man, have you got a picture? I wish we could throw it up.
Dude, I don't even think we took a photo. So, the first night that Brinley tried AOS was at my house, and I had nothing with me. So there was no map, there was no terrain, there was nothing. Yeah. And we're standing there. We're looking at my kitchen table because that was the only table that I had as well. And we're like, what are we going to do? So next minute, we got a tablecloth, stuck it on the table, turned some bowls upside down, and went, "Those are all hills."
Yeah, impossible terrain. Let's go.
Yeah, and that was it. That was AOS, man. That's how we got into it.
That's how he did it.
That was
cool. I lost that game, but I really enjoyed how the meager Chaos Forces that I had, how they played.
Yeah, and that was us playing Warhammer.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what I did there. Yeah.
Warhammer. Yeah, I think my force. I think my force cost me like $50. It was like 10 knights, 10 chosen, 20 marauders, and 15 Iron Warriors and a Lord that I just jimmied up out of a Slaughter Priest model. It was just a thrown together force, and we had an absolute blast. It was really fun. And since then, I've played a couple of games. I was thinking about doing a Death Army for a while there, but I've just enjoyed how Chaos has played. I've lost every single game I've played with them, but I enjoy their play style.
Hey, well, if you want to start a Death Army, you could always paint mine.
You always paint yours. I have got a feeling they're going to be on my hobby desk anyway.
Yeah, no, I think eventually I'll start to feel guilty for piling you up with plastic crap to paint.
No, we're doing pretty well. I mean, like I'm smashing through the Stormcast, so
yeah.
See how we go.
Love your work. And
See it.
and the Hurricane.
See. Oh yeah, I got to get the hurricane going.
I need that for that tourney.
Oh yeah, is that in November?
Yeah, like wait, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's the start of
All right,
October now. We're good.
we're
Everyone,
good.
watch this space. Watch me quickly paint a hurricane.
Don't
Uh,
quickly paint nothing, motherfucker. Anyway,
don't- anyway,
um,
so
and so that was strategist, yeah.
yeah, that's the strategist. So that's the one way to do it. And then the last sort of person who picks and chooses an army is the world builder.
This is you,
So
isn't it?
this is me. Like the rare occasion that I was a strategist, but every other time I am the friggin' world builder. Um, a world builder absolutely loves the hobby aspect. They love the painting. They love the lore. They love the history of the army. They're the sort of people who will sit down and they will make an entire backstory for the forces that they are on the table. They will deliberately design the costumes and the heraldry of their stuff so that it reflects a particular chapter or a particular host um, of their army, or they just go to that extra step to design it. Like they have sat down and they've just delved into the lore. They've read the books about it. You know, this person started a Gaunt's Ghost army because they've read every single Gaunt's Ghost book, and this person has gone to the dedicated level of modeling camo cloaks on the back of all of these Imperial Guard troopers and naming them and breaking them up into companies and having the characters that have come in throughout the books and the thing. Like there's like these this is how I choose an army. It's the lore, it's the background of an army.
Yeah.
And like as I said before, my first army was Bretonians. I fell in love with the lore then. That was just the lore. For my Tau, I actually had a box of Tau just sitting around. I'm just like, I really want a tournament army, and I'm just like going to research about this Tau. And I had a look at it, and I love the idea of the greater good and like this sci-fi utopia that these fish people are just trying to build. And I ended up
And they're
creating
trying to on the built on the bones and blood of all the enemies that don't accept the good, the
yeah,
greater
exactly.
good.
Yeah, screw everyone else. Greater good for life.
Yeah, that's it.
And I absolutely loved it. Like my army is I painted it in uh, a gray, dark gray, light gray sort of camouflage
Yeah,
pattern, because I wanted them to reflect that they're on. Uh, they participate heavily in shipboarding actions because they're from Kelshan. Those of you who know Tau, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, just tune out for a couple of seconds. You'll get it. You'll get there in the end. And I went to the effort of building this army of basically to look like they're Boarding troopers, and we had a backstory for them. Uh, I even built like a massive display board for those of you who were part of the channel beforehand. Those Tau on that display board on our banner, that's my army. Went to huge efforts to do it. Absolutely amazing, like named all of the Riptides. They've all got names and histories. Kept record of how many units they killed, what they done in battle, particular fire warriors that have done well. I have one Kroot. This one Kroot throughout the period of a tournament became a Psyker, killed a Nurgle biker champion, which is a pretty big feat. That's like an Empire Guildsman punching out a Chaos Lord. So it was pretty impressive. And a couple of other really cool feats that he did, surviving storm surge barrages and all this other cool crap. So I delved into it massively, and that's what I love about this hobby. I love building an army that has the lore, that has the history that you can make your own. Like people have 1,000 original, original ideas that you see every day, but you can still come up with something of your own that you can own, that you can create, that you can be proud of, that you can take
yeah,
to a tournament, and be like, yeah, this is mine.
yeah.
And that's what I'm all about. I will research an army. and if I'm absolutely in love with the lore and the hobby, I'll go for it. And that's the same with Chaos. I was a Chaos boy before, Chaos boy now. Love the conversion.
That army's going to be awesome when you're done, man.
Oh, dude.
I'm looking forward to that war
I just
shrine.
can't wait. Oh man, I'm going to be doing a war shrine.
The war canoe.
Part Chaos Longbow, part war shrine. It's going to be flying. You guys stay tuned. It's going to be crazy. I think we'll be probably doing a tutorial on it.
No doubt.
Yeah, but those are the 3 types. You have the power game, the strategist, and the world builder.
I think I'm trying because I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's hard for me to pick out which one I am, because the power gamer in me, sometimes I go all whack, and I'm oh, I need to win. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that'd be a real clever army to take to this table and do that. And then other times I'm like, oh man, that's sick. Like, listen to that story, Like when I read the whole reason that I'm doing the Death Army was because of what I read a whole bunch of the books around Nagash and all that. And the whole reason I started Noble was because of the book I was reading at the time from the new Age of Sigmar book series, which name escapes me. So like, I guess it's okay to have a little bit of all of them as well, though. Yeah.
Yeah. You can there's nothing wrong with mixing all those 3. These are just ways of just trying to work out what sort of a hobby.
Usually you're weighted towards one more than the other 2, though.
Yeah, easily.
Like, you're definitely more of a world builder than you are. Definitely more than you are a power gamer. Like, I don't think you're a power gamer at all.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty damn accurate.
So those are just my observations of myself. I mean, look, if other people have other ideas, I'd love to hear them. Like, hit us up in the comments. Get out there. This is just like a quick way of working out, how you as a person would pick an army, like working out what sort of hobbyist you are.
Yeah.
There are heaps of people who have said what armies you should take and pick, and
then on top of that as well, there are people out there as well that are just in it for the hobby as well, and if that's the case, then you just pick whatever you think would look coolest to paint. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I reckon that's really, once you work out where you sit with that, it's a lot easier to pick what army it is that you want. Or what army you'd like to start. And I think another thing that you can do as well is it's choosing an army. Yeah, we're talking about choosing an army. So play that army. Join a club, join your local club, and find somebody who might let you throw dice against or with their force, if that's the one that you're interested in. Like the Sylvaneth for me. Oh, that's really interesting to me now. After that game, do you know what I mean? And I put the call out. Can somebody, lend me an army or show me or play me? And that's how I ended up. Thanks to David with the stuff. So try out the army if you can. And for me, most of it is book related. If I like it in the fluff, I'll like it on the tabletop. So get out there and read the fluff. And on top of that, there's forums. So the Grand Alliance forums for AOS are really good. I'm sure there's 40k ones out there. I just don't know them. But also
definitely hit them up, get them out there.
Yeah, for sure. So like, it's an investment, and we all know that Games Workshop isn't cheap. Like, it's just not. Plastic crack habits are expensive, and you want to make sure. I mean, it's your time, it's your money. So do as much research as you can. Get into a local GW store and watch a few trial games, or watch a few show games, or just talk to some of the people out of there, or some of the stuff as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do when it comes to choosing an army. But I think what's important, like what you said, Brinley, is work out what hobbyist you are. Once you know what hobbyist you are, it narrows down your search. You say, okay, I'm a power gamer. I'm like, I just want to win. Okay, well, at least now you know what you have to do. You know, go find out what the tier 1 armies are at the moment. Find out which one seems easiest to your playstyle and smash that out. Oh, I'm a world builder. Okay, well, sweet. Fucking, what books have you been reading recently that you really like? Find an army out of that. So it is. Once you figure out what hobbyist you are, it's a lot easier to pick your army. In fact, you need to. You need to know what you are. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think that's all I got on that topic. That's I think we've covered it pretty in depth. Like if you're after armies and that you want to choose, there's a plethora of YouTube videos out there. As we said,
Yeah.
Warhammer Weeklies has just released one on the best and worst starter armies. Definitely hit them up. That's probably a really good compliment to after listening to us babble on about that.
Definitely. And if you do want to talk about it more, feel free to pop me a line or drop a message in the comments or something. We're happy to talk about it as well. So
yeah, man, we're pretty active. If you put a comment out to us, we'll definitely get back to you and have a chat. We love hearing from you guys. We love any community involvement. The chat's been pretty busy tonight, I hear.
That has been.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're just talking smack about my beanie.
More or less, there's that, and you and your terrible beanie.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can't actually see the chat, so I can't actually see people talking smack about me. So,
it's excellent. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm just going on Ryan's good faith.
I'll tell you what I feel you need to know. No, look, we've had quite a few people joining us tonight. So to all of those out there that are hobbying, painting, building, reading, chilling, whatever it is that you're doing, listening to us at the same time, it's been awesome to hang with you guys.
Yeah, man, it's a good community feel. We love doing this on a Monday.
Mm.
This is the best way to finish what is possibly the shittiest day of the week.
Yeah, and start off the week as well. The rest of the week, so
yeah, that's it. Finish it up with some hobby. So look, I guess we're coming pretty close to the end of the show. Is there anything you wanted to add to that feature?
Don't be afraid to go and test shit out first before you commit to a buy. Make sure you know what it is that you're aiming to accomplish by starting a new army, and set achievable goals.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I like that. All right, so before we end the show, we've just got a quick plug for the Polished Man event that the Legion of Wargamers are going to be holding alongside a couple of other events they're doing a slow grow as well. But the Polished Man is an event that is raising money for children who are victims of abuse. For as parents ourselves, me and Ryan are 100% behind this cause. There's nothing worse than children being victims of other people's bad choices.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a fantastic organization that helps provide help to those kids who need the help that's out there. It's a donation of absolutely whatever you want. It starts in October, so it's already started. You get to paint a nail and so show solidarity in this cause. What the Legion of Wargames are doing is that they're painting a nail in whatever colors your main army is. So for me, I'll be doing white and gold for my chaos, and then probably gray and yellow for my Tau. I don't know what Ryan's going to be doing. Probably.
So I can either go like a quartered red and white for the Free Guild, or blue and gold for the Stormcast, I guess. Or I can just cover my hands in Nurgle's Rot.
Yeah, just stick your hand in a pile of filth. But this is a really cool cause. We're all for it. If you guys want to get involved, go to the Legion of Wargamers Facebook page, hit them up. They've got a link there, or even go to the Polished Man Facebook page. We're going to try and throw some links at the end of this video, just so we can get some information out there about this. That's guys. You know, I'd like to have a big shout out to our sponsors, but we don't have any.
Nobody gets any sponsors.
Nobody wants us. Look, if you want to sponsor us, or you want an event covered, hit us up. We're all about the community. It doesn't matter where you are in Australia. We will plug your event. We will be all over it. If you're in Brisbane, just down the road, or you are all the way down in Adelaide or over in Perth, or you're in Tassie, hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. We're all about the Australian Warhammer and 40k community and tabletop gaming in general.
Yep.
Hit us up. Like us, subscribe to us. Yeah, that's all I got. Ryan, you got anything to add before I take us out?
Yes, Scott Holmes says, don't be scared to ask questions. I don't actually know if either of us actually mentioned that, but that's probably like the best fucking advice anybody could ever give when it comes to
really. Thanks, Scotty, you saved us.
And then there's Troy, who's just saying, go with whatever army looks coolest to you.
Yeah,
I can't fault that either.
Sounds like a world
look, there's nothing else from me. Just get behind the Painted Man for sure. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us and spending your hobby time with us.
Yeah, man. All right, so everyone, that's us from AUSHAMMER. I hope you've had an amazing night listening to us. Despite technical difficulties at the start, we've had a blast having you here. Thank you for joining us on chat. Thank you for listening to us live. Like, subscribe, check out our YouTube, check out our other videos. We've got a couple of tutorials up there now. Hit it up. Again, like, subscribe. Love you all. We can't wait to talk to you next week. You guys have fun. Hit us up. Catch ya.
Catch up.